Welcome back to the Teen Titans storyline, and today we'll be covering issues 22, 23, 24. When we last left off, the new team had finally come together and battled against Gizmo. But in order to defeat his failsafe, which was going to destroy and kill our entire team and take out a block, they had to throw Roundhouse, one of the newest members, into the sky, and he died in an explosion. On the team's first mission, Robin, Red Arrow, Kid Flash lost one of their newest members. If you want to see that video, we have the Teen Titans playlist down below to catch you entirely up on the storyline. Otherwise, if you're wondering where you are, this is the Comicstorian channel, where we create audio dramas for the lore behind your favorite video games, movies, and comic books. Subscribing to our channel will get you daily access to various lore released right here on the Comicstorian channel, and going over to our Patreon, joining our premium membership, will get you early access to all of the content we create here. Now, let's pick up after the explosion with Kid Flash looking up, telling Red Arrow that that is where Roundhouse is. A week has passed and the team gets ready for the day when Robin sits down, telling them that he wasn't ready. He should have known he wasn't ready. Crush, the individual that looks like she could be Lobo's daughter, tells him, well, she was the one who kind of threw the guy into space. She kind of liked him though, in an annoying little brother kind of way. Kid Flash says, that guy is gone. Show some respect. Crush finishes pouring her bowl of cereal, telling him, Roundhouse knew the deal. He wanted to be a hero, and for a second he got to be one. Time to move on. Kid Flash knocks the bowl out of Crush's hand, shouting, move on? It's barely been a week. How could you be so freaking cold? As the two look at each other, Red Arrow throws a knife between them, stating, it was unfortunate what happened, but inevitable. If we're going to work as a team, we need to train as a team to lower the chances of that ever happening again, starting now. So after breakfast, everyone heads out into the courtyard to undergo training from Red Arrow. But as each try, Red Arrow finds everyone's weaknesses, exploiting it. The one without any power wins. Crush relies too much on brute force. Jin can be blinded and snared. Kid Flash's feelings can be manipulated into thinking that he actually hurt someone. Red Arrow helps everyone up, telling them that each of them is technically more powerful than her, but they are all undisciplined. They each attacked her one at a time, instead of working together because they assumed their powers would be enough. Crush dusts herself off, asking, if we're supposed to train as a team, shouldn't Robin be here? And Red Arrow tells her, you can trust that when ready, Robin will be here. Until then, we're going to work together. Deep down in his underground prison, though, Robin has been capturing the villains that they defeat, deciding that Batman's plan doesn't work. He needs his own black site prison. And he drops a plate of food for Black Mask, telling him, you're a businessman. How about we make a deal? The trust fund that you have set up for your illegitimate son, what would happen if it suddenly runs dry for him? What happens if his around-the-clock caregivers stop getting paid? Black Mask struggles against his chain, shouting, leave my son out of this! And Robin says, the other. I know he's real. Black Mask yells, all there are is stories. Some say he's a man, others say he's a god. Some even say he's the devil himself. Robin walks off eating Black Mask's apple, telling him, I'm not interested in stories. And Black Mask tells him, this one isn't a story. I did hear about a job before getting locked up. Later, at Roosevelt Children's Hospital, the team begins to position themselves as Robin and Jin head inside of the security room. Once the guards are put to sleep, Jin says that she would like to thank him for returning her ring. Sometimes the lingering effects of being able to control someone is intoxicating. But as he puts up a wall to protect himself, she can understand the necessity to do so. So if he ever needs to talk, she's there for him. Robin asks, what exactly would I need to talk about? And Jin says, anything you wish. Red Arrow radios in that they know their comms are open, right? And Crush says, gross! Red Arrow then says that team romances never end well. And Crush says, especially ones that involve tiny tyrants. Red Arrow then goes on stating that it doesn't matter who or why, work and personal lives should remain separate. Crush then asks, what if you don't have a personal life? And Red Arrow tells her, abstain. Crush laughs, yeah, right. I'm a hero, not a nun. And just then, the alert goes off that someone with camouflage just went in. Robin tells Kid Flash to get some recon, but do not engage. Kid Flash zips around to the hospital, locating the target, and overhears a girl stating, the deal was nobody gets hurt. We can't do this if... Kid Flash grabs the girl by the arm, stating, from the sounds of it, you don't really want to do this, huh? There's still some time to walk away. But as he says that, Golden Glider jumps through the wall with a bag full of stolen medical supplies, and Kid Flash asks, shouldn't you be in Iron Heights? Golden Glider wraps him up, stating, yeah, she should be. But they can't really deal with any heat right now, so take him out, Swerve. Swerve points her gun, stating, he's just a kid though. But before she could pull the trigger, she's hit with a battering. What part of recon only did you not understand? Golden Glider sighs, stating, we should have taken him out when we had a chance. I'm not going back to prison. See ya, kiddos. As she goes to escape, Swerve grabs a nurse and runs to the top to escape. Everyone rushes out onto the roof with Swerve stating, it wasn't supposed to happen like this. I got shot in my third tour and had to get a blood transfusion. The blood that they used must have been meta blood because I got these camouflage powers. After I got back home from risking my life for this country over and over, I had no job or support. I can't sleep. I barely eat. I only agreed to do this so I can pay my damn rent. I don't want to hurt anyone. Red Arrow pulls back on her bow, stating, bull. And Kid Flash asks, didn't you hear her? She's a victim in this too. Red Arrow tells him, we all have a choice. Like how she almost killed you before Robin saved your butt. Life is rough for us all. If we let her go and she kills, that's on us. And after what happened to Roundhouse, do you really want more blood on our hands? Red Arrow releases the arrow, pulling the gun from Swerve's hand and knocking her off balance and over the ledge. She then tells Crush and Jin to show them what they got. Crush jumps over the ledge, grabbing onto Swerve, and just before they can hit the ground, Jin creates a pile of flowers to fall onto. Crush asks, flowers? Really? I hate flowers! Now Jello would have been super cool, Jin. As everyone gets ready to leave, Kid Flash thinks to himself that Red Arrow is right, he does have blood on his hands. That is why, since he was the one who brought Roundhouse to the team, he will be the one to step up and tell Roundhouse's parents. So after the mission completes, he takes a break from all the hero stuff to go there. He knocks on the door to Roundhouse's parents' house in Long Island. The door opens. Kid Flash sees something he didn't expect to see. Roundhouse. What the? Roundhouse? Roundhouse steps out of the door eating a chicken wing, telling him, oh hey, what's up, man? Gotham City has seen its fair share of crime, and the media is starting to get restless on what the GCPD are planning to do to fight it. The news and the press gather outside the GCPD to ask Commissioner Gordon what he plans to do to fight this never-ending battle. Just before he can give them an answer, though, there's a gunshot and Jim Gordon falls to the ground. Meanwhile, over at the Wu residence in Long Island, Kid Flash is staring at Roundhouse going, you're alive? Roundhouse bites down on the chicken wing, telling him, barely. My mom nearly killed me when I went off the grid. She's scarier than that Brother Blood guy. Kid Flash shouts, how did you survive the nuclear blast? And Roundhouse tells him, oh, that? It ain't nothing a little igneous theory can't handle. Anyways, come on in before the pop starts tripping that I'm letting all the AC out. We have some kombucha on tap if you... Kid Flash grabs Roundhouse, yelling, what the hell, man? We all thought you were dead. This whole time you've been sitting here eating chicken wings and playing video games? Roundhouse presses the button on his suit, turns into a ball to free himself, shouting, hey, I landed on the other side of the planet and my phone melted. There was no way I was gonna be able to contact anyone since half the team hasn't even followed me back on Insta. It's not like anyone would even care. Kid Flash begins to get up, stating, well, I did. It really messed me up, man. Roundhouse helps him up and tells him, well, I didn't know. My bad. Kid Flash tells him, yeah, I'm sorry too. Kid Flash begins to pick up some of the furniture that was knocked over by Roundhouse when he finds a picture of Roundhouse and another girl about his age. He asks him, is this your sister? And Roundhouse says, was. Long story. Just before Kid Flash could ask more, though, he gets a distress call from Robin telling him to get to Gotham. Roundhouse asks, is that Robin? Tell him hi for me. So Kid Flash grabs Roundhouse and tells him, you can tell Robin yourself. Within seconds, Kid Flash and Roundhouse make their way into Gotham where they find the police surrounding Gordon's body. The officer tells them to stay back, they have medical on the way, but Kid Flash pushes himself through, stating, there's no time, it'll be faster if... But before Kid Flash could leave, Gordon says, psst. Roundhouse asks, did the guy with the mortal face injury just hiss at us? Gordon smiles, and as his voice changes, Jin says, Roundhouse, you're not dead. How lovely. Kid Flash says, wait, Jin, you're in Commissioner Gordon's body? And she tells him, of course not. That would be powerful magic. I merely conjured the illusion of his form. Commissioner Gordon was being targeted for an assassination, and Robin thought to make the attempt appear successful. The real Gordon is at home in a deep slumber with the help of a minor spell. Roundhouse then says, maybe we should, not be here anymore. There's a lot of reporters, and they might question why we're speaking to the dead guy. Kid Flash runs back into the alleyway so that Jin can change back and asks where the rest of the team is. Jin conjures up a map stating that they're currently tracking the assassin. They are to meet back and rendezvous with the team at this location. So a short while later, across town, Crush looks down from a building stating, this Lady Vic seems real casual for someone who thinks that they just killed a guy. Red Arrow tells her that some assassins have rituals for when they complete their jobs. Her mother would go get a manicure. Kid Flash and Jin arrive, and just behind them, Roundhouse bounces in shouting, what's up, players? Everyone runs over with Crush yelling, hey, you're not dead! Badass! But while everyone is welcoming back Roundhouse, Robin tells them all to be quiet. They're still on a mission. And Roundhouse, where the hell have you been? Kid Flash says, well, you see, his mom grounded him. And Red Arrow says, grounded? Are we in kindergarten? Roundhouse tells her, hey, I'm not sure about your parents, but mine don't play around. As everyone celebrates Roundhouse's return, Lady Vic overhears and makes a break for it. Crush jumps off the building onto a car and Red Arrow follows, stating, that's not very subtle. Crush tells her, you ain't seen nothing yet. And she picks up the smashed car and throws it down the street. As the car comes crashing down, Lady Vic spins her gun back and asks, do I know you? And Red Arrow kicks the gun from her hand, telling her, I doubt it. Lady Vic pulls out a second gun, stating, you may have some skills, but you're not exactly Superman. She begins to fire, but Crush jumps in the way, telling her, Superman can bite me. I'm Crush. Just then a batarang is thrown, disarming Lady Vic's second gun, and Crush grabs her, stating, see, nothing to worry about. Lady Vic reaches down to the gun on her ankle and fires a shot into the gas that spilled onto the ground from the car that crushed through, setting off a massive explosion. Roundhouse turns himself into a ball, throwing himself into the air to catch Crush, but as Lady Vic gets back up, she takes out another set of guns. While everyone is trying to get to cover, there's a plink sound as a grenade is thrown behind her. Robin yells for her to watch out and throws himself onto the grenade. As he braces for the explosion, it doesn't come. He opens his eyes to look down and see a flower, and Jin tells him that she appreciates the attempt at protection, but she has methods of dealing with these kinds of things. Crush points over at the building, stating that Lady Vic went in there if anyone's interested. We can go in there and... So Robin jumps in front of her, telling her that she isn't the one calling the shots. Her car stunt almost got a lot of people seriously hurt. It doesn't matter how strong she is, if she can't figure out how to be a team player, then she can find a new team. Is that understood? The Teen Titans clear out the building and corner Lady Vic in a room. But as Robin kicks in the door, everyone freezes. Inside, Lady Vic's body hangs from a set of knives that she was stabbed with, and the word boom written across her in the wall. Robin looks closer and sees claw marks on the wall and asks if this is the work of the other. Roundhouse reads boom, asking what that could mean, and it's that very second the entire building explodes. The blast knocks everyone outside, with Robin beginning to cough as he slowly begins to wake up. He turns on his flashlight with Crush yelling, hey! Unless you want the rest of the building to fall on us, get that flashlight out of my eyes, Bat Kid. Kid Flash starts to get up, but as he moves his leg, he sees a piece of scrap metal lodged in it. Kid Flash says that he should be able to vibrate this thing out, but Robin yells at him not to. The smallest disruption could bring the whole building down. A few moments later, Roundhouse thrusts his arm up, yelling, I'm here. Oh, good. Well, maybe not good. Robin begins to call out for Jin, but after a few minutes, Jin pulls herself out of the debris, stating that she's there, but she regrets that she was unable to protect them all. Robin lets out a sigh of relief, stating all that matters is that you're all okay. And Crush begins to struggle, stating, yep, doing great over here. You want to do something now? Red Arrow tells Jin that maybe they should teleport them out or something, but she tells him she can't. There's limits to her abilities. Red Arrow pauses. What are you talking about? You literally dove into a man's brain the other day. What do you mean you have limits? Jin says that it's complicated. So Red Arrow yells, either you do it or we die. What's complicated about that? Kid Flash says, actually, I'm with Arrow on this one. So Robin asks, it's the ring, isn't it? Give it to me. I promise I'll give it back, just like last time. Jin tells him it's not about her ring, it's something else. They don't understand if she uses so much magic so soon. Robin tries to egg her on. Come on, Jin. I thought we... But she screams, no! And the entire building begins to shake. Crush falls down onto her knees, stating, all right, everyone listen up. I don't really like people, and truth be told, I barely like any of you. But if I drop this building right now, I can tell you for sure who's going to live through it and grab themselves a slice. This girl. Jin's got a secret. So what? She can get in line. Each of us have our secrets. Each of us have our family problems. We're all messed up. Come to the territory. Enough of this BS. Robin got us into this mess. You are sure as hell going to get us out. Silence fills the air, and after a few minutes of thinking, Robin says, okay, we already did a full sweep of the building. We know no one's inside. Gotham's finest are undoubtedly already on the scene, so we're gonna need to find a way to get out without exposing ourselves. There are rats heading somewhere beneath us, likely towards water, which means Gotham sewers should be right beneath us. If Roundhouse could... And Roundhouse asks, what, get dense? With the best of them? See ya, shorty. Kid Flash says, okay, sounds like we're gonna need some super speed. How the hell am I supposed to run with this piece of metal stuck in me? Red Arrow leans in, smiling, stating, hey. Kid Flash pauses for a second and says, wait, you never smile, especially at me. What are you? Just then, she grabs the metal, ripping it out of his leg, with him screaming, ah, you're crazy! And she tells him, you're welcome. Robin tosses Roundhouse a few explosive charges and tells him to set them at his feet. They aren't gonna have much time when they go off. So he sets the charges under a layer of rocks, putting his weight down on them as Red Arrow fires and the arrow sets them off. The explosion begins to go off around them, with Roundhouse focusing his weight onto the weaker parts of the floor, and the team begins to fall through. A hole is blown open in the ceiling of the sewers, with everyone coming crashing down into the water. After pulling themselves out of the sewer and taking some much needed showers, everyone begins to relax, except Red Arrow. Inside Jin's room, Red Arrow lets herself in, telling Jin that she's not sure what the hell is so complicated about her magic, but it endangered everyone. She chose to keep a secret instead of helping the team when they needed her most. She grabs Jin by the arm, telling her, "You are going to tell us what the hell is going on right now, or you're leaving this team and never coming back." Jin looks back and states, "I asked you not to address me in such a manner." Before Red Arrow realizes that she is floating and she feels a pressure at her throat, and in a different kind of voice, Jin tells her, "There is something that you don't seem to understand. I have made kings and queens, puppeteered great wars, eradicated empires older than words could record. I do not respond well to threats. If you knew the things that I was truly capable of, we wouldn't be here right now. It is well within my power to make your life worse than nightmares that could haunt a cold heart like yours, Emiko Queen." Red Arrow struggles to gasp for air, and Jin tells her, "That's right. I have no secrets from you, so leave." As Red Arrow is thrown into a wall, she finally inhales air that she was gasping for and wakes up in her bed. She looks around asking, "Did that really happen?" And with no one to answer her, Red Arrow quietly lays back down to bed, unable to get to sleep. Which brings us to the conclusion of issue 24. Now, the next thing we're going to be covering is the origins of Crush, supposedly Lobo's daughter. And we're also going to be covering the death of Deathstroke, and following that, we have the return of the real Lobo. So, if you're watching this and you want to know what's going on with the Teen Titans, subscribe to our channel so we can bring those stories right here to you. And don't forget, you can get early access to this by joining the Comicstorian Premium membership over at our Patreon. We give you early access to a bunch of videos over there and other projects. Go check it out if you have time. If you liked this video, let me know by giving it a like. Turn on that bell so you get subscription notifications of all the comic books we're covering, and I'll see you next time right here.